Today I'm scrapping a piece of history. So this is the front of my workshop. You can see it's pretty tight. This first machine's already sold, so that will clear up some room. But then I've got this machine, and as you can see, if I get a pallet in, I got no room to move it into the rest of the shop. So I'm hoping to tuck this machine into that corner and then move this cooling unit for the wire EDM near the front of the shop. But I got this ginormous grinding machine tucked away there, and I started restoring this thing and retrofitting it. Spent quite a lot of time on it, and I just haven't got around to finishing it. It takes up a lot of room. There's quite a lot of wear on it, and to be honest, I just want the space. So today I'm going to go through the process of me getting this out of the shop and basically either breaking it down or ask someone to come and pick it up. The thing weighs like 8,000 pounds, so my little forklift isn't going to lift it. Not is it going to lift any of my machines, but I do have skates. So the first thing is going to be to pull this machine out. All these machines have bars through them, and I made some custom skates for this machine a while back, so I'm going to use a similar thing. And you can literally move these machines by hand. The only thing is outside is got a lot of gravel and stuff, so having the forklift will help quite a lot. So firstly, I'm going to jack this machine up, move it all the way out here, pull this one outside, and then work on getting that machine out. So I'll just show you how easy this thing is to move. And I kind of recommend doing this with every machine, working out some way you can just put it on skates. Like that. So now the machine moves really easy. Look at that. So move this thing right up to the wall. And then, oh, look at that big coolant patch. So now I'll take the skates off. These bars seem to be a lot higher, so I'll just put a lot of blocks under it. I'm using the forklift to lift the front side of the machine anyway, so long the skates follow it, should be okay. So instead, just put this machine on skates just to move it out of the way. Let's pull that out. Kind of figured if I get stuck, I don't want this machine outside since it's being sold. Whereas this thing doesn't really matter because it's getting scrapped. So I'm hoping I can just kind of drag it out and then put skates on the back and lift the front with the forklift, maybe. It's crazy heavy. But towards the end of the video, I'll show how this thing works, and either in this video or if I do another video, I'm going to show how this machine goes together. It's quite interesting. I mean, imagine there's a giant grinding wheel on this thing, like 14-inch grinding wheel, and then this magnetic table spins and, you know, surface grinds. So the next step is I'm going to put the forks under this skid. The skid is welded to the machine, and there is some pins that go through the machine here, so there's no issues with the skid. But my forklift never lifted this thing, it never will. So I'm hoping I can just put the forks under these two, tilt it up, and then kind of just drag it out. Just to drag it out enough that I can put these big box tubes and skates under the back, and then drag the machine out where it needs to go. And then I could break it down. Maybe I might be able to lift it with my forklift then. Like if I take this top piece off, this whole table. Cast irons are also quite fragile. You can smash this stuff with a sledgehammer if I have to do. There's no power steering on this thing. So one fork might just be enough. Just enough to drag it. I mean, most forks like this one has a hole through it, so you can drop a pin in, or a sling, which I think I might have to do. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to do. It's not very strong, but then again, if I'm buckling that, it's probably too much. So let's see what happens. Okay, so it's moving. So if I turn this thing this way, there we go. That's surprisingly easy. Hopefully I can get this bar out. I think I ground the welds flat on the bottom of this thing. Yep, so it scuffed the floor. It hasn't damaged it, thankfully. I mean, I'm not gonna drag it any further. I currently rent this unit, so I don't want to ruin it. So now I'm just gonna put a box tube through there, like on here. Put the skates on and then just wheel it out. If the skates fall off, I'm just going to make sure that this thing's only like ½ inch off the ground, because if it tips only ½ inch, an inch, this thing isn't going to tip over. That's the last I want. Okay, now I've got these skates under it, so they're only lifting it off maybe ½ an inch at the most. So now I'm going to put the tips of the forks under this, just lift it up a little bit and drag it out. Swept the parking lot, but these skates don't like going over stones, so we'll see how it goes. And these skates also like to just steer randomly, so it can be a slow process. I gotta keep getting off the forklift and resetting. And I only want to drag this thing straight because it's obviously quite top heavy. So we'll go as far as I can under. These things go through the whole machine, so oops. There we go. it's not. There we go. Nice and slow. I can try and steer it a little bit because I need to clear this left side. I've also got like no brakes on this thing, so like on the forklift itself. Am I gonna clear? It's getting close. I don't think it's raining. So I could maybe count and steer. Oh, just by the tiniest bit. Okay. Let's see if I can reset. No. So just hold it there. If I had a second person, obviously I could probably steer this thing. This thing's right up there anyway. Oh, there we go. That might just clear. There we go. So now, let's see if we can actually steer it a little bit. Maybe not. Oops. Yeah, it's about to fall off the skate. Well, you get the gist anyway. So here's a better look at the machine, just before I pull it apart. So originally there's a giant motor mount on here, and then powered table. We removed all that, and there used to be a ginormous motor that came off the back of here, like literally like 2 feet long by 18-inch round, that powered like a central shaft, and then that powered the oil pump, the spindle, everything. So a big belt drove up through here, and I thought, let's simplify that. I put the motor on the top, which you'll see the later models, if you give a search this, do have a motor on the top. The only thing is I needed to extend this shaft to put a pulley on, and I just don't have a lathe big enough. I could send it out, but this thing takes up so much room. I've not really needed it, so if I ever get into surface grinding, you know, I'll just buy one. One that's actually better condition. So this is to move the vise up and down, and then this mechanism, a bit like a shaper, it's got a start and a stop, so it moves back and forth. And can't remove this valve. Actuates. What's the valve? I'll say this is the valve here. So it actuates that valve to move back and forth, and then when it hits this, moves this mechanism and increments it. And then this is basically that directional. This is the speed. The electrical cabinet was basic. It was wired at 480 volts, so everywhere in Canada is pretty much 208, so I would have to change all this electrics, basically everything. And then this thing is a big cast iron panel, which I'm just going to let fall because it's crazy heavy, like a couple £100 kind of heavy, I believe. If I can pull it off. There we go. Yeah, The two combined are really, really heavy. And this one, thought would just pull off. Oh yeah, no, it's bolted down. Some old-fashioned square head bolts. So I put, instead of the big shaft running through the middle of this thing, I put an electric motor in to power this oil pump. Nice and basic. And then there's tons of oil from this pump, so that would splash onto the chain and kind of just fill up in this tray. The interesting thing is all the valve work. Everything's like copper, brass and bronze. It's a really, really well made machine. Even the hydraulic actuated tube, which I guess you can't see from here, because I replaced all the seals. It's like a bronze tube. It's probably only low pressure, like, you know, 100 psi or so. So there you go. I'm gonna pull this motor off, sell that, pull this motor off and sell it, pull all the copper, and then see if I can break this down enough that I can lift it with my forklift, which might be quite unlikely, but and I forgot to mention, I guess I'll show when I pull this head off. So this whole thing's lubricated, like oil comes up on the slides and then drains down back into the sump. Because this thing is so worn, the galleyways actually just slide, like push the oil away, and when I run this thing, oil just pours down the side of the machine and makes just a real mess. I could fix all that, I could grind all these galleyways, but the machine's so worn out, it's had so much use. I mean, I didn't know this until I got the machine, because it was kind of a fixer-upper. But sometimes it's just not worth the trouble. So you can see that's how this thing's put together. Bronze tube, and then oil comes out of these little holes and lubricates it for it to go back and forth. You can see the fronts of this are really badly worn. Like, these grooves are gone. Whereas on this side they're still quite deep, and you can still see the cross-section marks from the factory. It's not in the worst condition actually, but you can see the wear grooves on this here. It's quite a lot of wear, and because of that the oil just kind of pours out. It's supposed to come up through these holes, go in these galleys and then drain back into the tank, but it just spills everywhere. And I put a new seal in this. Like I said, I was going to restore the whole thing, but now it's getting lighter. Pull all the hydraulics out and then pull this off, and then hopefully I can lift the whole thing. Well, I stripped as much as I could off it. Got quite a lot of bronze and copper, and then basically filled this drum. So I'm guessing there's probably 1,000 pounds in this drum, plus some of the guards. So I've obviously stripped the head off it, and then I stripped all the mechanisms as much as I could. I tried to take this off, but there's a big steel pin that goes through this and I just can't get it to budge. Same with this pin as well. But there's a hell of a lot of weight taken off it. I've still got to drain the oil, but this is my forklift lifter. It's supposed to be rated at 4,000 pounds, but this thing is absolutely ancient, so let's see what happens. it lifts it. The big test is give it a little bounce, because if the back wheels come off the ground, it's no good. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised it lifts it. Pretty happy with that. The steering isn't super light, kind of surprised. So now the scrapman can take it. Well, apart from the electrical cabinet, I got to take that off first, but and the oil. So I don't know if it's been an interesting video or not, but it's just the way times are. It's old equipment and no one wants it. I put an ad on, but literally no one wants it, so it's such a shame. But yeah, well, at least the shop now is looking a little bit tidier now. Obviously this barrel's going to go, this machine's being sold, now the forklift can fit in here, and once this machine's gone I can finally bring pallets in and take them to the end of the shop. I mean, this machine is also for sale, so once this thing's gone I'll have a nice little bit of room again. So thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, because I got some interesting machines. Like I got a wire EDM, like 3 lathes down there, another mill, a die sinker. So I'm building a project that's going to be a V12 motorcycle, so I'm going to use the wire EDM to make gears. So thanks for watching and see you next time.